Well, seeing it firsthand is her approach to her craft. She works tirelessly on her body, what she puts into her body, she's mindful of. She's working out after games. She's working out on off days. She's in the pool. And so if you think about the maintenance and the discipline that you have to really commit to that.
Hey, is there an update with your two players who are out today?
They're both progressing. We will still be without them today, though.
If and I hate to place her on hypotheticals, but I mean with Ezzy, obviously she's in the protocols and like she has to make her way through that. But with Jill, if the playoffs were today, could she play this game? And what do you think about her for Thursday?
Yes. I think, we're at the point of the season where there's a balance of health. I'm always going to be mindful of our players' health first and foremost, but also it's go time. It's winning time. And, with the health of, I think Jewel, for sure, what I saw her today, her movements today, I think that I feel comfortable with where she is. But now it's about just being mindful of games and where we're at and having her be prepared for postseason.
And then obviously just not having those two playing LA is one thing, but not having those two playing Vegas is something entirely different. What do you have to do tonight with Dr. Two Stars?
So what don't we have to do? We're playing a Vegas team who is the defending champions. First and foremost, our mindset. We have to compete at a high level. We have to be sharp in everything that we do. Um, we're down two elite players and two starters. So it's next woman up mentality. It's not one player trying to fill the shoes of two people. It's by committee. I liked where our, intensity was, our effort. I liked how we started the game. I thought that no matter who we're playing, we want to continue to address our starts. And today it presents a matchup challenge for sure. You have, Asia playing at a high level, and without, Ezzy on the floor is going to be difficult to match up to that. So we'll be creative. This is a game in which we want to work on ourselves for sure. But Vegas is tough, and they push you in a lot of ways to do a lot of things, and their lineups are difficult to match up against. But they got to guard our players too.
Hey, Coach. Erica Ayala with CBS Sports. Good to see you.
Good to see
you. Yeah. You just talked about focusing on Seattle. That's one of the things that you want to do. You also mentioned the balancing health, but I would imagine that there's also another balance that you and the coaching staff have as far as where is the team now in the rest of the regular season, this final push, but then also knowing that you have to prepare for the playoffs. What has kind of been that balance, and how have you been getting the team prepared for what's to come once the regular season closes?
Yeah, I think it's not looking too far ahead. I think it's really just being where our feet are and tackling the task at hand. So the other day was LA, today is Vegas. It's focusing strictly on what we need to do to compete at a high level in this game. We're not worried too far in advance about, I'm a coach, so I know we play Phoenix and I understand where we are in the seedings and what may happen today, but the focus is just the day-to-day for us and how do we continue to grow and get better in the things that have been our deficiencies and how we continue to replicate the things that have been really good for us.
Hey, Coach.
Hi.
With Nneka being her 13th season, and I looked at her career, like she's maintained that same level even now after being in the league for 13 seasons. What's been key for her to be able to be so productive?
Well, seeing it firsthand is her approach to her craft. She works tirelessly on her body, what she puts into her body, she's mindful of. She's working out after games. She's working out on off days. She's in the pool. And so if you think about the maintenance and the discipline that you have to really commit to that, she has that. And I've never seen a player have that such discipline in everything. I'm not even talking about basketball. I'm talking about outside of the court. She has great discipline. So obviously coaching against her and competing against her, you see it on the basketball court, but just to see it daily, it isn't by mistake that it's been 13 solid years. Is definitely the work that she puts in.
Absolutely. And then it looks like potentially you could play the Aces in the playoffs. So when you're facing them now in the regular season, like, do you hold a little bit back in your bag, or you try some things, see what works?
Definitely. You know, I'm just gonna be honest with you, Coach. Yeah, you have to, and it is. We're not going to be the same team when we see them in the playoffs because we're out. We are without two of our starters, but you see what we can do in different rotations. That their small ball lineup has been a lineup that has really brought us a lot of hill, for lack of a better word. So what can we do to combat that? Asia and her isolations, it's not just on the post, but in the middle of the floor. And now she's playing in space. Like, how can we combat that with, our different coverages? And then just even for us personnel wise, our bench, just seeing who can really step up and step into this moment in their matchups and what they do, and trying to get some confidence from those players as well.
Coach, I know you're missing the two key pieces on this one, but you've won your last 4 in a row. What are some of the things, especially since Olympic break, that you've liked that you've been seeing from the team?
Yeah, it first started on the road in Connecticut. I thought the second game we were very intentional about being more physical defensively. So getting into bodies, making sure our coverages when we're guarding 2 with 2 and not over rotating, just being committed to guarding our yard. We have really stepped it up on the defensive end. And the other day, even in the LA game, a lot of deflections, a lot of pick sixes, and because we kind of revved up our defense. The other thing is, I feel like offensively, Gabby's finding some comfort. Sky is being super efficient in what she's doing. And so we have some good, offensive balance, I think, since on this 4-game stretch. The one thing that I will point to is we have to continue to be better rebounding. I don't think that we've been great after the break. So, we addressed our starts, and now we're kind of focused on making sure we're better rebounding.
Only got a couple minutes left. We'll take one question each from Zoom. One question from Maz, one question from Christian. Go ahead, Maz.
Yep. Hey, Coach, just what have you seen from Skylar, just in terms of defense and just how she is? I think you said she's the head of the snake of your defense, and what you need from her moving forward.
And I definitely want to put my bid in for an all-defensive team for Sky, just because I think she's been that good all year. What I really see is, people look at her frame. She's very strong. And so, she's a lot of times, hands on balls, in the paint, aside from, the starting with our on-ball pressure, pick up points with her, ball screen coverages with her. What she does on off-ball things have been really good for us as well. Her competitive level, you could talk about the schematics, the X's and O's of, defense or whatever, but she's taken on any challenge, and I think she sets the tone for our defense, and everyone else has to follow. The block shots, she's getting, I don't know what the record is now, Jeff, but she's pretty consistent in that area. Just, again, quick hands, being present down there and finding ways to alter shots.
She was all WNBA guards and block shots. So, Christian, one last question, and then we'll wrap up.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Well, thank you.
That's good. I think I heard you guys talking before the press started. I'm actually not from Dallas. I'm from Chicago. Nothing against Dallas, but the native Chicago in me just kind of the idea. But, even without Jewel and Ezzy today, this is still an important game considering you most likely to have Vegas in the first round. Outside of, effort and the execution we've talked about over the last month, what are some things that you're looking at to get out of this reserve group?
Yeah, just some reps that, this group hadn't had. That I think will be essential, when you're, without 2 main players who take majority of your minutes. Those are minutes for someone to step into and find some rhythm, some confidence. This is also our last regular season home game. So utilizing the crowd and just having fun today. We're in the playoffs, and, that's, great to say coming from a year that we've had previously. So, I don't want to press our team too much, and I don't want to put so much pressure on or weight on this particular game. Let's just go out and hoop and have fun.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll see you after the game.